Hello, welcome to part 4. If you're just joining this series and you have no idea what I'm talking about, feel free to go back and listen to the other 3 episodes because everything will make much more sense. So today I am following on from yesterday, which is to talk about your audience. So the final piece that I shared yesterday was about really understanding who you're talking to, and making sure that you're having conversations with those people. And I think that we can assume that people know us, or social media will tell us that, or people will find us, or will be plucked from obscurity, but you have to go out there and meet the situation halfway. So following on from that, when you're feeling stuck, when you're feeling things are a bit stale, or you're not quite sure what you need to do, or maybe you're not getting the sales, or you're not getting the eyes on what it is that you're doing, maybe you just need some more eyes. Maybe you need to go out a little bit further. Maybe you need to shake up your audience. Maybe you need to go onto a different platform and really make sure that you are opening yourself up to more opportunities. I've told this story so many times, but I remember doing a speaking gig maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And I was able to see the attendee list in advance. And it was a Saturday morning event, and there were 95 people signed up for the event. And I remember reading through the list, and I didn't know any of them. Like, not a single name, like not a friend of a friend who happened to live there, not somebody I used to work with who, came along for moral support. I didn't know any of them. And I found that fascinating, because what happened next was I had 90 minutes with 95 people who didn't know anything about me, essentially. Or maybe they did, but we hadn't had a conversation. We hadn't had an interaction. And that was really interesting to me. And what happened then was it, of course, led to sales, different clients, different partnerships, different collaborations. And I think sometimes just shaking up things and going down a different path can be so, so valuable. The next thing that I want to say is to really think about the stuff that you're doing in the room, but also what is happening when you're out of the room. And I like to think that, I know, because I look at the information, I collect the data, more on that in a second. I know that my business and my brand and the opportunities and me making sales or getting work or anything like that, it doesn't just happen when I'm doing the thing. So it doesn't just happen when I'm doing a speaking gig, or when I'm going live on Instagram, or when I've put a video live, or I'm doing a podcast. I know that my opening hours are around the clock, but they didn't always used to be. And my sales, customers, clients, etc., work opportunities always used to fall on the working hours that I was doing. So I would say, I'm going to work these 8 hours for this person. They're going to pay me this amount per hour, or for the day, or whatever it might be. And that was it. There was no other wiggle room or sense of being able to earn or grow or do anything else. These days, I feel that because of the way that the internet's grown, and if you can make it be your friend, invite it to be your friend, there are so many opportunities to leverage what it is that you learn, what you know, and so other people can learn it. And this could be something really, really simple. It could be selling a workshop for £5 on your site. Obviously, do your own terms and conditions, your own legal stuff, talk to your accountant, etc. All goes without saying. But imagine if you woke up in the morning and you'd sold 3 of them in the middle of the night, and tax and all of that sort of stuff deducted, of course, but you might be left with several pounds whilst you've been sleeping. Happy days. So if you want to have that kind of mixed model business, check what's going on in terms of your website. Can you make things more obvious? Can you really direct and handhold your client, your customer, and let them know that they are supported in making the next move? lots to think about. The next thing, I want you to imagine whatever your problem or your struggle is. How many are we on? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, number 3. I want you to think about your problem or your struggle, or maybe just how you see your business. Sometimes I've felt that moment with my business, my brand, where it's just felt really heavy and a bit kind of, I don't know, soggy. I know, it doesn't feel good. You know, when you're just like, oh, it just doesn't feel inspired. It doesn't feel light. And that's how I feel. Like if I was to give it a flavor, a vibe, like when it's good, it feels light, it feels multicolored, it feels like it can go in any direction, it feels flexible, it feels like there are so many possibilities. And when it doesn't, it gets that heaviness, it gets that stuckness, that sogginess. Less about the soggy things. But I, in that moment, have now learnt, instead of going, oh, it's so soggy, oh, it's so dark, oh, it's so grim, is to almost imagine it like a piece of art, if you like. A piece of art that, when you look at something from a first glance, from one particular perspective, sometimes it doesn't look anything at all. And it doesn't, like, you might go to a gallery or a museum or something and be like, wow, that's worth £1 million. Really? Like, wow, I'm in the wrong business here. And it's only until you walk round and you look at this from a different angle, or in different lighting, or if something else comes and stands next to it, if the environment has changed, that suddenly you start to get things from it. So I encourage you to play with what this feels like. So if your business is feeling like a dark, soggy, wet towel, you have to get to the point where it's like, right, this needs to go in the wash. I'm going to hang it out to dry. I'm going to watch one of those Instagram videos where people show me how to fold towels in a nice, lovely way. Like, I need to clear something. I need to shake things up. And that's what it's like, of seeing your business as that piece of art. Like, notice how things change when people put different lights on things, or they change the angle, or they put something on a new table. We have to be willing to meet that sogginess or that trickiness halfway and say, all right, let's try this. Let's see what happens when we do this. Because when you're in that creative headspace, that's when you're going to see not necessarily the results, but you're going to see perhaps what the next right step is. Number 4, breaking out the room and mixing it up. This is really key. When I started my podcast in 2018, there was very much a Mums in London network, Instamums. And I knew that it would be very, very easy to ask, who knows if they'd say yes or not, to ask loads of mums in that kind of environment who had thousands and thousands of followers to tell their story. But what I was finding was that the reason that lots of those people, and I would say not just the Insta mums, but I would say YouTube influencers, what you'll notice is many of them cross-pollinate. So one of them might go on your channel, or you come and do mine, and I'll answer your question. And then you can see that kind of that backstory emerging. And I knew that with my podcast, in order for it to grow, I wanted my audience to feel surprised every week. Like, oh, I haven't even heard of this person. And, oh, I just knew that I wanted to meet this person. And I know that I am somebody in life who ends up having conversations with random people. I am that person at a party or a wedding who ends up sitting in a corner with a new best friend who I know their life history. And I love that. And I have that skill, I would say, of curating different people. And so because I'm not that popular girl in the school or like I just have these 4 friends and that's it, I know that I can use that skill to my benefit. Yeah, maybe. So in this situation, if you find you're just marketing to the mums at the school in the WhatsApp group, it's time for a change. It's time to mix things up. It's time to do things in a different way, because when you do things in a different way, you're going to get different results. One final thing. This is about content. And if you want to find out more about content, you can go to my shop, nikkiraby.com/shop. I do lots around content. What do I say? Who am I? What am I all about in my pick and mix sessions? Also, there's a workshop about content. So go and check that out. That will give you more information. But I'll give you this for now. I want you to imagine all of the stories, skills, knowledge, all of the things that you have, almost like a Christmas dinner. And Christmas lunch or Christmas dinner, however you describe it, is never just one thing. Yes, there might be the basics, the meat or the vegetarian alternative, maybe the spuds, some veg, probably some sort of liquid sauce like a gravy. But then there might be rice, there might be something else on the side, there might be a different kind of sauce, there may be a way that the vegetables are done. And that's how I see the content of your business, is not just to say, I've got a Christmas dinner, Christmas dinners are great, right? Break down the individual parts, because I want to know that stuff. I want to know how you do your spuds. I want to know why you put that sauce with that vegetable. I want to know when you start cooking. I want to know why you always put that tablecloth down. And I want to know why your grandparents have always done that and where they got it from. So imagine that as your content and really go into detail, because there is so much to say. That's it for today. Do go over to my website. It's recently had a bit of a glow up, so you can go to the various sections, but a really good place to start if you're not sure where to go next, just go to the shop, nikkiraby.com/shop. It's a list of everything that I offer and how I can help you and take you to that next level and do the things that you actually want to do rather than just thinking about them. That's it for now. I will see you tomorrow for part 5. I'm sending you lots of love. Bye.